Welcome back to Dad Rod Garage. Tonight we're going to be putting a throttle body on Project Donut, my 2003 Crown Vic. I got this throttle body off of a 2002 E250. Reason why I got this one off that motor was because it's a 70 millimeter throttle body versus my 65 millimeter stock one. I believe on 95 to 2004 E-Series vans with a 5.4, they were all 70 millimeters. I'm not certain on that, so don't quote me. But those also were fly-by cable, and that means that they have a throttle cable instead of wiring and controlled by a throttle position sensor and stuff like that. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty much all you need is 8 millimeter wrench or socket. Tonight we're going to be using a Milwaukee impact driver with an 8 millimeter socket. It just speeds it up, makes things a little bit faster. Time to complete this, probably 20-30 minutes, depending on how mechanically inclined you are. Well, let's get started. So this is the engine in Project Donut. First, you're going to take off the engine cover. Next, you're going to take off the intake pipe. You don't have to take the whole pipe off, just from the throttle body to the air box. Mind you, there's these two, the breathers for this. Well, let's get these off. So got the intake pipe off. These are the two lines that I was telling you for the breather and for the IAC. This goes to the IAC. This is what controls your idle. This is the breather, ventilates crankcase pressure. And then the throttle body. So these are pretty easy to get off. They just pull straight up on the cruise control one. And then on the throttle cable itself, I found that it's easier if you take this spring off right here. And that's just the throttle return spring. And then you can spin this around and pull this one out. This one right here. And that's all that is. Okay, and then you got the 4 8 millimeters. There's one there, and then there's one down here, and then there's one also in the back. Plus you got the wiring connector right here for the throttle position sensor. So I got the throttle body off. As you can see, you want to remove the old gasket, and plus there's a bunch of carbon right here. You want to make sure you get all that off of there. This is your throttle cable for your cruise control, the one that just snaps right down on. This is your cable that actually comes from your throttle pedal, and then this is that return spring I was talking to you about taking off. Makes it a little easier to get the throttle cable off itself. So I got my throttle bodies over here on the bench. So this is the throttle body that came out. You can see it's pretty dirty. Had a lot of carbon and stuff in it. Nothing much to say about it. It's kind of small. It's factory. And then this is the throttle body off the 2002 E250 with the 5.4 in it. I cleaned it up, got it out of the salvage yard. I think it was like 30 bucks. It's pretty clean. But the thing about it is, if you take the gasket and you lay the gasket on top of this one, you can see there's quite a bit of extra material that doesn't need to be there, And if you take the same gasket and you put it over on the E250 one, there's nowhere near as much, like almost port matched. Plus, if you knew somebody that was a machinist, there's still even a little bit in here that could be taken off, that doesn't match the throttle bore, or that matches the throttle bore. So you could even take more off if you wanted. I'm not going to worry about that because this is enough. Like I said, it's about 5 millimeters bigger. So I got the new throttle body on. The 4 bolts, mind you, I torqued them to 85 inch-pounds, which is about 7 foot-pounds. You don't have to torque them. You want to be careful because this is aluminum. You don't want to strip it out. And I did a crisscross, so I started with this one, then went to the bottom corner, and then so on and so forth. You plug your throttle position sensor in, and then you put your cables back on, Might be hard to do one-handed. There. And then it just wraps around. It goes in that little, there's a little channel down in there that it goes into. And you put your throttle cable return spring on. And then your cruise control cable on. And it just snaps on like that. Okay? And then next step would be to put your intake boot back, or intake pipe back on. And then your decorative cover. And you're pretty much done. So, all finished up. We'll go ahead and start her up and see how she runs. Keys in here somewhere. Let's see. She actually runs pretty good. Like I said, there's no performance. You're not going to see this in any horsepower games. Most of this is all going to come as throttled response. You're going to notice that as soon as you touch the throttle, the engine feels like it wants to accelerate a little harder than it did before. So now if you were force inducted, like turbocharged or something, and you did this, you would probably notice a little bit of a performance increase just because you're able to put more air into the engine. But being naturally aspirated, that 65mm throttle body is more than enough for this motor. This is just for things that are coming in the future. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Got the throttle body on. I spent $27, maybe $30 on this throttle body at the salvage yard. And bought a new gasket. It cost me about $2. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, 20-30 minutes. There's no tuning involved because it is a flyby cable. Now if you had like a flyby wire, because you can do the same swap with a flyby wire version, but you have to have it tuned in. If I were to give this any beers ratings, it would be 0 beers, just due to the fact that when you get it done, you're going to go on to go test drive it. And here at Dad Rod Garage, we don't condone drinking and driving. So this is a 0 beer job. If you like the video, hit the like. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And feel free to leave any comments, what we left out, things that we can do better, things that you would like to see in the future. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.